Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here. First of all, welcome back if you have been following. And if you have not, if this is your first time here, then allow me to introduce myself. My name is Carolina Villalta. I am a nutritionist. I studied in the University of Costa Rica, and now I am living in France getting my sports nutrition master's in École de diététique et nutrition humaine. For this video, I wanted to talk about something that is really popular that comes up pretty much every single week, and I talk about with my clients, with people that I exchange with on social media, and it's something that's really important, especially now in the context that we are in a time in which everything is changing a little bit. It's something very important to clarify and to give you all the information that might help you. So the topic I want to talk about is how can you keep track of your results and of your progress in the best way possible. So many of you are used to only using a scale in which you stand up on it once a month, and depending on if the number goes up or goes down at the end of 4 weeks or 6 weeks, then you can say if you are doing well or not so well. Others might be used to going to a nutritionist or to a health coach or a trainer or a gym in where they can stand on a very fancy scale and they get their percentage, their fat percentage, their water weight, their muscle mass, everything depending on how they hold a little machine or when they stand up on a different machine, or these smart balances or scales that will tell you more information. For various reasons, this needs to change. And it's not because it's a bad way of keeping progress, but it does not tell you enough. We live in a time in which you have to find practical ways in which you can track your progress and in some way be more independent about your results. The weight is not everything. And if you have been following me, if you have been reading my posts on Instagram, you know how little I trust the weight when it comes to tracking your progress. Look at it this way. If you are comparing two different foods, one of them weighs 2 kilos and the other one weighs 500 grams, it might be your first reaction to say, okay, the one that has more weight is the one that has more calories. You might be right on this, but what you're not taking account is the quality of this food. So yes, quantity is going to be important. Most of the time, more weight is going to be more calories, but you're not looking at the fact that maybe these 500 grams are pure peanut butter or are pure fats or pure oil, and this 2 kilo meal is a salad. So don't get impacted. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't think that the weight is the only thing that matters, when in reality, the quality of what is in that weight, in your body composition or on this food, on this meal, may be even way more important than the actual weight. So I think it's clear why weight is not the only thing that matters. Sure, it can have a little bit of importance. It should be something that you should be looking at to see if you're in a correct range, but it might be 50% of the results. So what is it that does matter? What other factors should you be looking at in order to be able to evaluate your progress and to take control of your results as well? Not only depend on someone else or a number to tell you if you're doing well or not. If you have already watched my other videos, especially the one where I talk about how to lose weight, I tell you that there are 2 things that you need in order to lose weight. One is a caloric deficit, and the other one is sustainability. The calorie deficit is very simple because it's just like a calculator. You just have to eat less than you are spending, and there you have a deficit. But the second part, the sustainability, is where it gets a little bit confusing. You might have already heard about the entire movement that has been going on about hormones. So it's very popular to hear that hormones are all that matters, calories are not important. You have to pay attention to the signs in your body, for example, insulin, leptin, which is the hormone that tells you when you are already satiated, and ghrelin, which tells you when you are actually hungry, and all these different kinds of hormones that are going to tell you information about what your body is doing. For example, if you have very high levels of cortisol, which is a very popular one, you know that your body is in stress. So this entire movement about hormones, it tells you to stop looking at the calories, that these are not important, and you have to look at your hormones. If you take this idea that I really like, that I think is very valuable, but you take it to the extreme and you say that this is the only thing that matters, then you get these people that start spending millions of dollars in lab results, in tests that will tell you what exact levels of this specific hormone you have, and if they find out that your insulin, for example, is too high, then that's the problem. and you have to get medicated, and you basically can't get your results because biologically you have this problem and you won't be able to get rid of it. I think this is really silly because it will tell you about a specific hormone like a snapshot in time. It will tell you only at this moment, on this day, during this moment of your menstruation, for example, or this period of your life where you're going through this and that, your hormones were looking like this. But it doesn't tell you how they alter during the day, how they fluctuate and adjust to either the lower amount of calories that you are giving it or adjusting to the higher levels of activity that you are doing. And this is why after a few weeks of following a diet, of having a calorie deficit, you will stop seeing results and you will start feeling like you plateaued because your metabolism says, okay, we need to adjust here, and they start changing up things in your body. And depending on this is that you will be able to know if what you're doing is sustainable, if you're going to be able to keep at it, or if you are not doing well, you have to make some changes, or it is time to find a different program. The real question then is, how in the world can we know what our metabolism is doing, if our hormones are in check or not, if lab results are not the way to go? And this is where I really follow my good friend Jade Teta's advice and way of looking at things, which is listening to your body and becoming your own detective. Depending on how much stress your metabolism is under, your body is going to give you symptoms and signals to tell you what is going on. You just have to be able to pay attention to it. All these different signals that your body gives you can be described and memorized with an acronym, which is SHMEC. Each letter of this word is going to tell you a signal that you have to pay attention to see if you are on the right track or you are not. The S stands for sleep. H is hunger. M is your mood. E is energy, and C is cravings. So these are the most important signals that you have to pay attention to, but there are also many other ones. For example, your exercise performance or your exercise recovery. Also your entire reproductive system. So how is your menstruation? How is your libido? For men, how are your erections? All of these different signals are ways that your body is communicating with you to tell you that your body is either under too much stress or it is in balance. It can be in stress for two reasons. It can be either you are putting too much strain on it, you are eating too little and exercising too much, or it can be the other way around. You are eating way too much and exercising too little. So you can be stressed out in both ends of the bell curve, and what you are trying to do in a process of weight loss or a fitness journey is to get to this Goldilocks zone where you have just the amount of stress in order to get your results, but you are not going under too much stress that doesn't allow your body to keep going. Your body is actually super smart, and the reason why it's giving you all of these signals is because it wants you to be okay. And if your body is under too much stress, your body is asking for you to pay attention to it. The H is your hunger. So if you are hungry all the time, it means that you're not giving your body enough calories. Your mood, you can be having mood swings. If your body is under too much stress, it's going to be acting out. It's not you, it's your hormones. You can also take a look at your energy. Is your energy fluctuating too much? Are you wanting to take naps in the middle of the day? Are you tired all the time? Are you all of a sudden craving things that you have never really wanted? Are you craving sugar really bad? All of these are signals that your body is giving you. Once you start paying attention to these signals, you can know if your body is under too much stress and you are not going to be able to sustain these changes that you have been doing, or if they are in check, then it means that you can keep going like that a few more weeks. I think that most of us, when we start a fitness journey, we start off on the wrong foot because we start off wanting to get everything perfect and to eat perfectly and to get results really fast. But most of the time we start off the process with something out of check, with our SHMEC out of check. And this is going to make it way harder because once we start making changes and we're 3 weeks in and our SHMEC is completely out of check, we're hungry all the time, our energy is low, our sleep is all over the place, then we know that something isn't right, but we don't really know what because we started off at a place that we weren't balanced. We need to get our SHMEC in check first. We need to get balanced first, get our stress levels to a minimum before starting, so that we can know that whatever adjustments we are doing to our diet or to our training are due to a specific factor. So the first step in all fitness journeys is get your SHMEC in check. Make sure that your metabolism is balanced, that your hormones are at the best possible states to start off. And once you have that already in check, then you can start making a bit of modifications. And that's where you will be able to see the results of specific factors. And then month after month or week after week, you can evaluate, okay, is my SHMEC getting out of check? Am I too stressed with this diet that I'm following? Am I not stressed enough? Is it too easy? This is how you can evaluate your progress. At the end of the month, if you say, okay, so I'm sleeping better, my hunger is okay, I just get hungry before each meal, so it's perfect. My energy is way better, I can train stronger. My cravings, I'm not really craving anything specific, just casually every once in a while a chocolate or something, which is completely normal. And if all this is doing better and your clothes are fitting better, then who cares what the scale says? If they are all indicating that your body is in check, then it means that your stress is where it has to be, and then you can start adjusting. So what happens if I eat a little bit more carbs in my diet? Does my energy increase or does it decrease? Because all of us are very different. I can have the best results when I eat at night, and someone else can react terribly and their sleep will be interrupted and they will have a lot of dreams. Another example is people that start including breakfast when they weren't used to it. Some people will react a lot better. They will start having more energy during the day, they will sleep better, and all of the SHMEC will be in check. But there are others that will react horribly and they will start binging on everything and they will be hungry all day, and maybe it's better for them to not have breakfast in the morning. So this is why it's so important to be your own detective, and for every change that you make on your diet, to write it down to see, am I reacting better to more carbs or more protein or more fats, or am I reacting worse? Your body is going to speak to you. It will tell you if it likes certain adjustments or it doesn't. You just have to be able to listen to it. A few other ways of measuring your progress, if you want to be a little bit more savvy, is taking measurements. So if you have a measuring tape, you can measure 3 very important places: your belly button, your waist, and this one changes. For women, it will be your glutes, and for men, it will be your chest. With these 3 measurements, month by month, you can take a look at where you are gaining or where are you losing weight. But this is another way that you can keep track. And finally, the most important way to keep track of your progress, for me and for many different people, is taking pictures. Pictures are so important. If you try to take your pictures with a white background, with the same lighting every day, without having eating in the morning, every single month, you will see the difference. Yes, you can be a little bit more bloated or a little bit less bloated, but the differences will be very small, and it will tell you so much more than a number. A picture is worth 1,000 words. It will tell you, it will not lie to you. It will tell you if you are doing better, if you are doing worse, or if you have to do something different because you're not changing much. Try to use the same outfit every single time because your clothes fit you differently. So use the same top, use shorts under your belly button so that you can't hide the little love handles that come out sometimes, or do it in a bathing suit. And if you like the results, if you are doing better, if your SHMEC is in check, if you are training great, if your libido is up, your energy is great, and all of these signals that your body is giving you are telling you that your body is under just the right amount of stress, then why would you even look at your weight? It's just something to look at as one of the factors, but it's definitely not going to be the most important thing, or definitely not the only thing that you need to be looking at. You will do way better by looking at the signals that your body is telling you to tell you if the changes that you are doing are sustainable or they are not. So to conclude, the best way to keep track of your progress is, yes, to make sure that your calories are in check depending on your objectives, and second, to see that your hormones and your metabolism are in check. You will be way better off than with any scale. It doesn't matter how expensive and how fancy it is. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you. And if you have any other questions, if you want me to help you a little bit more personally, then don't hesitate to hit me up on Instagram. I will be more than willing to help you and to answer all the questions that you might have. Thank you again for being here, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye!